Hello friends and dear students, today with a new topic related to vocabulary in English language. So very important aspect, phrasal verbs related to the higher classes syllabus. So phrasal verbs are used in our day-to-day conversation and it is also important when it comes to the written language. So how are these phrasal verbs formed? So phrasal verbs, they are a combination of two or more words, that is maybe three words. So before going to the phrasal verbs, we will see one more important aspect related to that. So they are also referred as phrases. So why are they referred as phrases? Because when it comes to phrases, you see the combination of two or more words put together and they give a meaning which will be never based on the words that are combined together. But when it comes to the phrasal verbs, you will have two words or three words, and again you see the combination of words give the meaning. So we will go into the deep meaning of the phrasal verbs with examples. Phrasal verbs are phrases that indicate actions, the combination of a verb and a preposition or an adverb. So one thing is very important here, when it comes to phrasal verbs, you see the combination of verb. You see the combination of verb with the preposition or an adverb. When these words combine, they give you a meaning. So some examples are put on here. Verb get. The verb taken here is get. Preposition or adverb. So here it is up. So it's a preposition. Now together they form a phrasal verb, get up, meaning to arise, to sit up. To arise or to sit up. So these are the two meanings. Get up, that is to arise, to get up in the morning, or to sit up means you are asked to sit up or you have to move from the position of sitting. Next one, turn, verb, up, preposition. The meanings here together they form turn up, the meanings arrive or come. Give back, give back. So again the combination of this, that is give back, it is restore or to return. Give back. So here you have one verb and also one adverb here, give back, that is restore or to return. So returning is nothing but give back, restore means you get it back, the same meaning you will be getting here. Now come back. Come back, one is retort or to return. Come back, when the meaning is retort means in some situation you are not happy or you don't want to be there, so from there you come back, that is there is a rejection here when there is retort. To return means you are just going back from that situation or you are going out of that situation. So when the meaning is retort, you are not satisfied or you don't want to agree with the situation, so you retort from there. Sometimes phrasal verbs consist of three elements. So already in the introduction I told you that it may be combination of two words or three words. So you will have three words also, that is a verb, with an adverb and preposition. So, you will be seeing 3 words where you will have a verb, an adverb and preposition. Example, look forward to. Verb, adverb and the preposition. Look forward to. The meaning here, expect with pleasure. Put up with or bear. Put up with is one more example there, that is bear patiently. One example is look forward to. The meaning is expect with pleasure. Means you are looking forward for somebody's arrival where you are expecting them to come. You are happy with that situation. So, look forward to. The other one is put up with. So, there also there are 3 words. The meaning is bear patiently. Whatever happens, you are ready to face it or bear it patiently. So, that is the meaning. Note the small words used to form phrasal verbs, that is adverbs and prepositions, are often known as particles. So, you might have seen in the previous examples, or you will see in the examples given here, that the words that are attached to the verb, the small words, they are called as the particles. The words which are attached, the small words, are called as particles. I have taken many phrasal verbs. One thing you have to observe here is a group of phrasal verbs which are formed with a single verb is taken, and I have taken several verbs in such way. Why am I taking that is, one thing, it is very important when it comes to the 10th standard syllabus, first language English, and the other one is when there is a combination of prepositions or adverbs with a single verb, the meaning varies a lot. So, you have to know the variation of meanings. And one more thing I would like to highlight is, when it comes to your exam purpose or maybe in the future competitive exams also, we see that such options will be given where single verb is combined with different prepositions or adverbs, because those types of questions are called as tricky questions, wherein you should be very clear with the meaning. And one more observation is very important. The same phrasal verb can be used in different contexts with different meanings. So, we will go on with the examples. All these phrasal verbs are there in the textbook also when it comes to the 10th standard syllabus. The first phrasal verb here, go about. Go about. The meaning, to continue to do something. To continue to do something. Observe the example. Despite the threat of corona, people must go about with the normal life. Despite the threat of corona, people must go about with the normal life. So, we all are experiencing it. Even though you have the threat of corona, you cannot stop your life. So, you have to go on with your life. That is, you have to continue it. To approach or tackle a job or task. So, same phrasal verb, you have one more context or meaning. To approach or tackle a job, task, etc. Students must go about with their studies in a planned way. So, it is also very important usage. Students must go about with their studies in a planned way. Next, to change direction. So, go about, one more context, to change direction. The bus has to go about to avoid traffic jam. The other one, to pass from person to person or circulate. The meaning to pass from person to person or to circulate. The awareness to save environment must go about seriously. The message or the awareness that we have to save environment must go about, or it has to get circulated, or it has to be passed from person to person very seriously. One phrasal verb and the meanings in different context. So this is how we have to know the usage so that we can use it in our language, or especially when it comes to your exam purpose. In view of exam, some of you may feel that it is a 1 mark question. Yeah, I know that. But in improving your language, phrasal verbs are something unique in nature. Next one, go away. To leave a place. We want to go away this weekend. So you are going somewhere, or you are going out from the place where you are, to leave a place. The same phrasal verb, one more context or meaning, to disappear. I have washed the shirt twice, but the stain won't go away. Means to disappear from the place, or maybe the thing what you refer. I have washed the shirt twice, but the stain won't go away. So, two important contests I have taken. Next one, go ahead. Go ahead. To proceed. This meaning is when you take this as a verbal form. Go ahead. Even though it rains, the building work will go ahead. It will proceed. The work will proceed. Next meaning, permission to proceed. Go ahead, permission to proceed. So this meaning is the noun form. When it is taken in the noun form. In the first one you take it as a verbal form. In the second you have taken it in a noun form. So see the example or the sentence here. If we get the go ahead, we can begin work today. If we get the go ahead means if you get the permission to proceed, then only you can continue the work. The next one, very important usage, and most of the time it is used when you are very perfect in the language. Enterprising or ambitious. See here it is adjective form. When it is used in adjective form, her go ahead personality will get her far in life. Her go ahead personality means whatever is the situation or whatever is the task, when you are ready to take it up, when you are ready to proceed in that way, that is the meaning here. Her go ahead personality. She is always ready to accept the task and to proceed. So that is the meaning. Her go ahead personality will get her far in life. Will get her far in life means she will be successful. She can go on with her life without any problem because she is ready to take the task or accept it. Now one more usage, go through. Go through. To look at carefully, to search or check. Go through. Go through your notes and correct the mistakes if any. So you have to carefully check whether you have made any mistakes in your notebook or whatever you have written. One more meaning, to study, discuss something in detail. So you want to know something about a chapter or about some concept or some current affair, whatever it is, you have to go through it. Go through means you study it in detail or you discuss something in detail. Let us go through that chapter again in detail. So when you go in detail, then you call it as go through. So that is one more usage. So go away, go ahead, go through. So all this you observe that single verb with the combination of other prepositions and adverbs. One more meaning for that go through, to be approved or accepted. You can't start building your shed until the plans go through. The meaning you can see here, whatever plans you have made for building your shed, that has to be gone through, or it has to be approved, or it has to be accepted. Otherwise, you cannot build the shed. See, very different meaning here when it comes to go through. We use it to experience or suffer. So, very different regarding the other three meanings. Due to less rainfall, the farmers may have to go through severe drought. That is, you experience something or you suffer because of the situation, go through. So, in this way, you have several meanings. All the important ones have been taken here. Next one, go along, to accompany. The first meaning what I have taken is to accompany. I would like to go along with you for shopping. I would like to go along with you for shopping. So, you accompany somebody for shopping. To continue or progress, the next meaning. Using smartphones seems difficult at first, but it becomes easier as you go along. Means in the beginning to use phones you may find it difficult when it comes to smartphones. When you continue using it or when you progress in that way, then surely it will be very easier for you. To agree with, support. Now one more meaning, something different from two meanings given here. Almost you can see all the meanings here, they are different. I go along with the suggestion which I think is excellent. Go along means you agree with that or you support that. So the suggestion whatever is given by her, it is excellent. So I am ready to agree with that or support it or accept it. Go into, to examine or discuss carefully. It is not necessary to go into such detail. So, previous you had one phrasal verb, that is go through. The same thing it is, same meaning is also applicable here, to examine or discuss carefully. But when it comes to go into, one aspect you can keep it in your mind is when it is very serious or when you go very deep into the situation or the context, then you can use it, go into. It is not necessary to go into such detail. You can take one best example is maybe some CBI inquiries or the police inquiries, they go into the details very seriously. To use or spend time, money, etc. Go into. The meaning again different in nature. More money must go into hospitals and schools. More money means you have to invest or you have to spend more money when it comes to hospitals, the development of hospitals and schools. The other one again completely different from two meanings, to hit. The car had gone into a lamp post. The car had gone into a lamp post. It has directly gone and hit the lamp post. So all these were with the verb go. Now we have the next verb, that is run. Run away. From a place, person or situation. You try to go away from a place, person or a situation. Don't run away. I want to show you something. Don't run away. I want to show you something. You are asking somebody to stay back for a while. Don't go away from that situation or person. Next one is to escape. To escape. Here you can see, stop. The thief ran away when the police approached. The meaning here is to escape. Without anyone's knowledge, you want to just go away from there. The thief ran away when the police approached. Next one, to leave home. The boy ran away with his friends to Bengaluru. So, completely leaving his home and going away from the place where he was living. So, these are the three important meanings when it comes to run away. Run down, to move quickly on foot to lower level. Run down. So, here you can just see, as I told in my introduction, always you cannot go for the meaning of the words given there. Word by word meaning cannot be taken, but sometimes that is also possible. So, run down. See here the meaning. Run, usually you know, you move quickly on foot, and down it is telling about the lower position. So, that is also sometimes possible, but always it is not taken in that way. You cannot take the meanings of each word there, but sometimes it is applicable as it is given here. Run down, to move quickly on foot to lower level. Let's run down the hill and see who reached the bottom first. Run down means you are going down to the lower level. Next one, to knock down or collide with. Run down. The old man was run down by a motorist. So, this is one more meaning there. Run down, wherein somebody goes and meets with the accident. Run down. Run into, to crash into, collide with or hit. Almost the same meaning here. Be careful that you don't run into that tree. That is, go and hit or crash into. So, in such situation, you have to be very cautious according to the usage here. So, run into, to crash into, collide with or hit. Be careful that you don't run into that tree. Next one, to meet by chance. Run into, meet by chance. This is a bit rare usage when it comes to this meaning. Maybe we might not have listened to such usages a lot, but when it comes to your paper articles or your novels or short stories and all, you get to use all these things, or you might have read it. Run into, to meet by chance. Guess who I ran into at the supermarket. Who I ran into, that is, whom did I meet by chance there. I never knew that that person will be there, but I met him by chance. To encounter, advance weather or difficulties. So, encounter, advance weather or difficulties. We ran into a storm as soon as we left. You are not aware of that, but suddenly you face that situation or you encounter with that situation. That is, we ran into a storm as soon as we left. Suddenly we had to face a storm as soon as we left from a certain place or area or whatever it is. Run out, to move quickly on foot out of something. One more as we have discussed in the previous slide, that is run down. Means you get the direct meanings of the two words. To move quickly on foot out of something. Maybe that is a situation, place or whatever it is. The students were forced to run out of the stadium as it started raining. So the situation was, that is, suddenly there was a rain. So everyone had to leave that place or they had to go out of that place. One more meaning, completely different from this, to expire. To expire. My ATM card has run out. So I think all of you have observed, you will be having the year and date on the ATM card till where you can use it or which will be useful for your transactions. But when that date is over, then it gets expired. My ATM card has run out. Next one, to use up. To use up. To use up means get over. You would better answer the test before you run out of time. You should be very cautious regarding the timings when you are writing the test or the exam. You would better answer the test before you run out of time. Run around. To go to many different places. I have been running around all day looking for a beautiful dress. You just go on roaming, searching, run around or moving from one place to the other. That is the meaning. So I have been running around all day looking for a beautiful dress. To associate habitually with means you always have a tendency to get together with the people like your friends or sometimes with your neighborhood people. So that is the meaning here, to associate habitually with, and that means always you tend to be with them. That is the meaning. You accompany them always. She always runs around with her friends. So she will be always going around or she will have the company of her friends wherever she wants to go. Take aback. So we have finished all the that is what's the combination with the verb run. Now the next one is take. Take aback. To surprise or shock. Aback. You take aback. A sudden experience. A surprise. Maybe it will have a halt for a while. You experience it, a halt in your decision, in your maybe expression, whatever it is. So sudden there is a halt. That is called as take aback. Rani was taken aback by her unexpected exam result. So Rani never thought about the result would come like that. But by seeing that unexpected exam result, she was taken aback. So she was surprised, she was shocked. Take off. To remove. Take off your wet shoes. Take off your wet shoes. So here it is nothing but to remove. To run away quickly. To flee. So you are trying to go away quickly or to flee, means leave that place. As soon as the pickpocket saw the policeman, he took off round the corner. So pickpocket means the person who tries to grab your purse or anything from your pocket. So when he saw the policeman, he took off around the corner, tried to run away from there or to flee. To leave the ground and become airborne. To leave the ground and become airborne. So this is very easy. All of you know this. Our flight took off half an hour late. Means the plane, it has taken off. It has left the ground or it has started flying in the air. Took off. So, one more thing I just want to highlight here, which is important. See, here I have taken it as take off. In the second sentence I have made it as took off. Again in the third sentence I have made it took off. So what is the change you see is according to the situation. If it is in the present tense, the verb will be in the present tense. If you are speaking about the past tense, then the verb changes to the past tense, that is took. Again, when there is a usage of have and has, then it will take to the past participle form, that is have taken off, has taken off. So that is very important. So you will also observe in the question papers. So select or choose the appropriate phrasal verb and write it in the appropriate form. What's the meaning? You have to choose the proper phrasal verb and you have to make the changes according to the appropriate form. Appropriate form means it is a tense form. You have to see the tense. So that is a change. So that is one important usage you have to observe. According to the tense, the main verb that is taken here will change. That's why here I have put take off. The second sentence I have put took off, and the third sentence again I have taken it as took off. Take on, to allow, to enter. The bus stopped to take on and let off passengers. So the bus stopped to take on and let off passengers, to allow the passengers to enter and to exit. To employ people. To employ people, take on, you employ people. We need to take on more staff to cope with the extra work. We need to take on more staff to cope with the extra work. So that is to employ people. To accept or undertake. He takes on extra work to earn more money. That is, he takes or he accepts extra work to earn more money. There is a need for that, and that's why he undertakes or accepts. Take over. To assume control or responsibility. Take over. I am tired of driving. Could you take over? You are requesting that you are tired of driving and asking the co-passenger or your partner to take over the responsibility of driving. To replace something or someone. Take over. Nowadays, people lose their job as machines take over. Because of the computerized machines, nowadays people lose their jobs because the machines take over or the machines do their work. So this is one more verb, that is take, what we have concentrated. So all the phrasal verbs, whatever I have taken is from the 10th standard textbook that is related to your lesson. First lesson, a wrong man in the workers' paradise. First part, English textbook. There are several such phrasal verbs which can be used in your language to enhance your language or to make your language very appropriate in speaking or writing. So, I believe you have understood the meanings, the variety of meanings and their usage, and it will be helpful for you all in using it in your language, written language or spoken language. With this, you can also identify the several other phrasal verbs used in your lessons or when you go through newspapers or when you read some articles. Now one main thing is, I know some of you may have the confusions in identifying the meanings. So again, the same suggestion I would like to give, that all this can be clarified with lots of reading. When it comes to all languages, I tell you, maybe it is Kannada, English or Hindi, language cannot be memorized. So you have to keep on reading and you have to try to use the phrasal verbs in your language when you speak and also when you write. So thus you can go on improving your language and get the clarifications. But when it comes to exam point of view, you know the meanings. Then when it comes to your lessons, try to identify the phrasal verbs, and obviously your teachers will tell you the meanings of those phrasal verbs and their usages. Note it down and try to use them even in your answers so that you will have the proper clarification. Thank you.